Welcome back, everybody.
Believe it!
To the Simps podcast 25. Wow, this is the quarter. This is the quarter podcast right now. And actually, it's a good timing that it's a like kind of milestone podcast because there are changes imminent, everyone.
There are changes.
The podcast is about to not exist anymore. We have canceled the podcast forever.
This isn't even coming out.
The Robbie Gehring show is instead now going to be premiering every single day, a new episode. Mm-hmm. It's a 6-hour show, comedy.
Yeah.
Just stand-up, his new stand-up. He just does live stand-up.
Yeah.
We'll just set up a camera in his room and he'll be like, he'll just be telling jokes.
Yeah, I've been hearing him practicing pretty much every night. He comes over and I just kind of mentor him on how to be funny because obviously I'm the best here at that. So he's been taking a lot of my tips and tricks and he's taking it into account. He's doing his thing.
And he did the exact opposite, and now he's the funniest person alive.
Wow. How do you feel about that?
Wow. What an intro.
But the actual news.
The real news.
For the podcast is it is no longer going to be once a week. The podcast now is actually going to be once every other week to make room for more videos that are not the podcast. Like ones that will be coming out very soon that we won't name drop yet, but Blazing Wings Challenge is one. Yes. And then also a new show.
That we won't name drop at all.
Well, I mean the other ones.
Yeah.
We have a lot of other ones.
There is a new show, though, coming, and that will be weekly.
New show, and it will be out by the time you are watching this.
It's a show only for the male gender.
Only for the male gender.
No girls allowed.
Sorry, girls. This one's for the guys.
Yeah.
That's right. It is the news section, Simps Sports. And basically, Tyler and I are just predicting NFL games. Pretty much so. For any of you football/sports lovers out there, give it a watch. I think it'll be a good listen. We're still working out some kinks because it's our first week doing it, but we're going to do it every week. We're going to predict every week, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to have standings, and I'm going to beat Tyler in all of my predictions every week.
So everything was true except for that last part. But yeah, we'll just keep score, see who predicts better, and probably be wrong a lot of the time.
Good one.
That's pretty much it.
But when this podcast goes up, the first one will be up for sure.
It will.
It will have been up for 3 days.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it by now, the show's a failure and it's been canceled.
Yeah.
Links in the description below unless it did get deleted.
Or it never comes out.
Yeah, no, it'll come out. It'll come out. I'm just working out some graphic kinks right now.
Wow, look at you.
Because, I'm a big graphics guy, big animator. But
you could have maybe animated The Reef or The Reef 2.
Yeah, he really
also known as Shark Bait. Great movie.
I really could have, and I would say my animation skills are like slightly better. But anyway, my computer is not that great at running
anything.
Running anything. It's a little MacBook Air, little pink MacBook Air, and I also use Final Cut. So
it doesn't help much.
You know what you guys need to do? Invest in some nice PCs.
No.
Could,
but also we could not.
We could not,
hey,
and I think we're gonna stick with that.
PCs run Premiere better than Macs do.
That is true.
And they do have faster render times.
They run everything better than Macs do.
And they're cheaper.
PCs?
Yeah. Than a Mac?
Yeah.
At least for how much you get for the price.
I guess that's true. I'm just not willing to spend another $1,000 right now.
Yeah, which is fair.
Yeah.
I wish I could because my life would be a hell of a lot easier right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so those that's like $1,000 right there ish.
I think those are like that one.
I think that was like, about $1,000.
Yeah.
The bigger MacBook Pros are like $1,500.
Yeah. For like
$1,000.
$1,000, you could get a PC that's probably like 20, 30 times more powerful than that. At least, but then obviously it's a desktop. You lose the mobility. But
it is what it is.
It is what it is, and I think it's worth it.
Either way, go watch the video and argue with us about sports.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, man.
How many people do you think right now are going to click off of this podcast and go to that video?
Every single one of them, because no one's going to make it this far into the podcast.
All of the 3 people that made it this far.
Hey.
I'm talking to you, Kate, and you, Hannah, and you...
Carrie, if you're still
Carrie,
watching.
yeah, Lone Survivor, Carrie.
Does she still watch these?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Someone still watches all of them on Spotify.
So
Someone, not us.
yeah.
I don't play any of them on Spotify. One of the podcasts did pretty well on Spotify. I got like 30 plays.
Nice.
But then the other ones, it was the one with Steven and Nessim. That one got some views for some reason. But the Spotify is just kind of have it on there. It's just there. I like putting it on Spotify.
Yeah.
It feels more legitimate.
Yeah. Even though it's not at all.
It's a podcast.
It is a podcast. It is officially a podcast.
You can title this a podcast.
You can classify it
a podcast.
And now I guess we're going to classify this as more of a movie podcast officially.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's another big change. This is pretty much like we might go on tangents every once in a while while we're talking, but like it's the main focus is going to be movies now. I know one person's going to be very upset, Cameron. Yeah. You guys see his comment on our last podcast?
No, what did he say?
He said PP of the week is a better section than movie review.
Wow.
Cameron, I love you. I love you. That's all I've ever wanted to hear.
Honestly, I think we should bring back PP of the week.
Yeah, that was so funny and had so much potential to just keep going every single week. We just say a name and then say the name again.
You know what really does?
And who has the larger penis?
Yeah. You know what does need to come back though? Is the word game.
The word game was fun.
The word definition game, because that was actually not bad, and then we kind of just stopped doing it. And
oh yeah, I forgot about that. I was only there for 1 week of that.
Yeah.
What if we did like a game show video on the Simps though? We could do that.
We could do that.
Fortnite quiz.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
we got a lot more time to just do whatever we need to do. Podcast can be itself, and that we can just ignore Jackson doing that ever for at least a week break between podcasts.
I'm just curious to see how much this increases our production.
Yeah, we need. I think now that we do this, we just need to actually go full on and
do stuff.
And get it done.
Do things.
We've been very complacent with where we're at in having some sort of content every single week that we kind of lost focus of what the channel was supposed to be.
I agree.
And now we go.
And now this is when the real Simps comes out.
Yeah, the podcast is fun though. And it's nice to be able to watch and talk about movies also. That's like good practice.
Yeah.
Also for us, and also gives us something to talk about obviously, but going every other week for now. It could always go back to once a week once we aren't able to make as many in-person videos, but for now it makes more sense.
Yeah.
So, cool. Yeah. Shall we begin talking about the latest movie?
Shall we?
I guess, we could dive into it early.
Let's just dive into it. We are a movie podcast now, Joseph.
And we can talk about more movie stuff than just the movie we watched.
Exactly.
That's true. That is very true.
So, Joe.
This is my week.
Yep.
I forgot. So,
interesting choice here.
We watched Léon, also known as The Professional, or also known as Léon, aka The Professional, or also known as just The Professional.
Yeah.
I don't.
Also known as Léon : The Professional.
That's true. There are many titles of this movie. I really don't know which one is the main.
Yeah.
I like Léon the Professional.
I do too.
Just keep it there. I do too.
But yeah, it was a very interesting movie. It had a lot of style, had a lot of obvious passion was put into this, and it was also very weird, and
it was very weird
and a little pedophile-y.
It was a little uncomfortable at times.
A little pedo, but also I thought it was really good. It was a really good twist. A weird love story twist, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you describe it. It was weird but good.
Yeah.
Weird but good.
I mean, throughout that whole thing, I could never really tell if he was, obviously, I feel like there was a part of him that it was showing, is kind of in love. If you guys don't know, this is about a guy who's a hitman, and he basically saves this little girl's life, and then she kind of stays and helps work for him. She starts falling in love with him, and he
starts falling in love with her. But
a better description of it is the hitman saved her from these bad guys that killed her whole family. So she moves in with this guy, and they're both kind of loners in their own little worlds. This hitman has no friends, no family, no nothing, and then she just feels alone in her family. So then they move in together, and she's 12 years old, and she's very ambitious, a very ambitious kind of extroverted girl that wants to do something with her life, but never she was kind of handcuffed by her family. So then they come together, and you realize that they kind of needed each other to fill in some of the lonely gaps that they had, and then they fall in love. Big quotes.
Yeah, mainly just because he's kind of more of a father figure to her that she never really had, and then, at the end she makes the comment, she's like, I think I'm falling in love with you. And he
spits out his milk.
Yeah, he's a little taken aback by that, but I don't know. I could never tell if it's he's falling in love or he just loves her as just
his daughter.
As his daughter, or just as one of his his only friends, It was I feel like maybe they both maybe thought they were in love, but neither of them knew what love actually meant.
Maybe I interpreted it more as he was just kind of playing her game because she's a kid, and he wanted to make her feel good, feel like she's loved.
Yeah.
But also obviously he wasn't actually in love with this girl, this 12-year-old girl, which it definitely comes off as a little pedophile.
Some parts that seem like maybe he is.
This is I have a lot of research that I did that makes it a little creepier. So it turns out that this story is based off of the real relationship of the director. So the story is the girl in the beginning, beginning scene in the bed. Mm-hmm. She is the director's wife, and she met him when she was 14 or something, and said that she fell in love with him when she was 15 years old.
And how old was he?
30 or 40. Or no, he was late 20s. Which is very strange.
Wait, which girl in the bed? Why can't I remember?
Beginning scene, it was with the fat guy.
Yeah.
When it's just Léon on the mission.
No way.
Yeah. So she's been in some of the director's movies. Luc Besson or something like that. I need to look up his name.
What the hell?
That is
But so that's that. I don't know how to. And apparently also there is an extended cut of this movie which has some scenes. It cuts out some scenes where they were training, and there's this one where they break into an apartment and stuff. But also there's some apparently I've never watched the extended cut. There's some also scenes that make their relationship less father-daughter and more creepy pedophile
lovers.
I don't know though. I haven't watched it. That's just what I've heard, and I might be totally wrong. Because the only scene I've seen from the extended cut was them just breaking into an apartment and doing her training, basically. It's more of the paintball gun stuff, with the sniper.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's with a pistol close range. So it was her close range training, I guess. And I don't know about any of the other stuff, but...
Yeah. It was, I don't know, the part that got me was when, what was it? She
when she went down to the front desk.
And she said, he's my lover.
Yeah, well, that part kind of was just oh.
That was funny. We both went...
Yeah.
That was obviously a delusional little kid moment, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I mean, when was it, they had to, run or something? Or, I don't know, maybe I'm just forgetting what happened before this, but when he wakes up, and she's basically in the bed next to him. He's he's fully clothed and everything.
Yeah.
But she gets up and she's in his underwear or something, and he kind of watches her as she leaves, and I'm kind of okay, that's a very that's something that after a sex scene or something, they'll the guy will watch the girl walk out of the room, and that kind of just made me kind of just uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. It was I don't know. I feel that was supposed to be meant to be a after morning after sex kind of thing, but without that actually happening. I feel like the whole time it was more emotional sex that was happening. And that made it uncomfortable. It was, yeah.
See, what made me think the whole time that it was more of a father-daughter type of deal was, like, there was never any hint to that specifically other than when she was like, I'm falling in love with you, and then we're lovers. Like, other than when she brutal, like, just outright said it, there was nothing other than, like, maybe some little creepy awkwardness in the air. But like when they were just chasing each other around, like squirting water against like at each other, when they were just messing around after that like montage scene of them getting closer together or whatever, it just seemed like a cute little father-daughter thing.
Yeah, I think the dress up when the girl was dressing up, that's what got me, because she kind of like the first one she walks out and he's kind of like uncomfortable, but he's like doesn't like he's not like looking away or anything. He just kind of has this look like he's almost like, I don't know, it's just...
He looked uncomfortable to me. Like, that's what Ethan and I talked... Ethan watched it with me, and we talked about, like, this still feels like father-daughter, because it just looks like he, like, doesn't want to be there. But he's appeasing the girl by staying there and playing the game with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I still felt throughout the whole thing, I just got this vibe that he was just, like... He wanted every advance that she was making towards him, he wanted to accept, but was just knew that he was like, I can't do that. Like, I don't know.
Peak loneliness.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really liked the movie.
I thought it was good.
It's just like, especially I just like put it all off as like father-daughter type stuff until I knew that it was kind of based off the director's backstory.
Yeah.
And like how he met his wife, which that made it weird. That made it really weird, but then it's still like looking back on it, it's like it still really was pretty father-daughter.
Yeah.
Like.
I think the other scene that got me was the when he's like telling her to escape through the apartment when near the end.
Yeah, and they were like holding each other's faces.
Yeah, and I don't know, he kind of like talks to her about going off and like he like how he wants to live and stuff, and like he wants to go. There was one like thing he said like sleep in a bed and stuff, and like he was like, and we can do that, and like stuff, and I was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, it was just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, for good reason, pretty much. This movie was like really controversial when it came out in the U.S.
Yeah.
In '94 or whatever, and so it was I think a much different reception in like France, because the director is French.
Yeah.
And
who was it?
Luc Besson.
Luc Besson.
I think it's how you it's Luc Besson. He the other movies he's done, he did Lucy, which was apparently a terrible movie. That had Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, I remember that.
I never went and watched that.
That movie apparently sucked.
No, I did see that. I did watch that.
Ooh,
it was not good.
He did Valerian. This is Léon is definitely his best movie.
Yeah.
By far.
I thought it was really
Lucy
well done.
was really big when it came out.
That was just because it was Scarlett Johansson.
And
it has a big cast.
The Limitless.
It had Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
It was like super overhyped.
And it was the Limitless plot line.
Yeah.
Like straight up. Like just a pill gives you powers.
Yeah.
Everybody loves that shit.
And then also he made the Fifth Element.
Yeah.
That's his other big movie.
I think the Lucy, the reason it was so like people wanted to go see it was just like that line in the trailers and stuff by Morgan Freeman when he's like, imagine if we could unlock like 100% of our brain and stuff. Yeah. And everyone's just like, ooh, Morgan Freeman's voice.
Yeah.
Sounds cool. Go watch it.
Scarlett Johansson. Hot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, he seems like a very Hollywood creepy guy.
Yeah.
Luc Besson does.
Yeah.
I don't know if anything has come out about him, but I don't think anything has, because this movie hasn't been canceled. This movie is still, people like it. I think it's more of a just, I don't know if it's like a cultural thing, like a French thing, because I know French people are weird.
French people are weird and very touchy and like sentimental. I don't know if that's the word, but just like,
no, yeah.
I don't know how to describe
They're French.
They're French.
They're French. It's just
they talk like this and only think about love, you know? That's why everybody goes to Paris.
What was that? That's why everybody goes to Paris. I am French.
I'm French and Russian at the same
Not
time.
Russian spy. I am Frenchman.
Now I'm going to be British.
But yeah, this
Can we make a video where it's just Jackson
Trying to do
Jackson
accent.
Jackson versus Squint's accent challenge.
Yeah.
Singing challenge. Whoever wins gets my car. But I mean, what were you guys' favorite parts of the movie? Because we've gone over the controversial parts of the movie. Now we get to talk and go into the banger parts of the movie.
I just want to talk about first. This will transition into it, but Natalie Portman as a 12-year-old or whatever was so good.
Yeah.
She was insane.
This was her first movie she ever did.
Really?
Her first movie ever.
I can see why she got so many of the gigs.
I'm pretty sure it was.
She was so good. Like, I would not expect a 12-year-old to be that good.
Yeah, it was really weird seeing her because it's like, oh my god.
I've seen her as Padme, and then that, smoking a cigarette with like the Willy Wonka hair going on. It was crazy. Yeah. But she was so good. But that transitions to my favorite. One of my favorite parts in the movie was when she walked by her apartment and her whole family had just been killed. Yeah. And she just doesn't bat an eye, goes straight forward to Léon's door, and then starts crying. And I don't know, the whole acting job there was amazing.
Yeah, because the whole time, basically, the guy's standing at the door keeping watch, and she walks by, sees her dead dad in the doorway, and just keeps walking with all the groceries that she was out getting, and just goes straight for his apartment, and then is like, after she passes him, that's when the tears fall, and then is like ringing the door, and like trying to get in the whole time, just still crying. I don't know, that scene was really good, I thought. That whole scene where they come in and like kill her family, that was a cool scene, I thought. Yeah. And then obviously the last scene when they're trying to break into his apartment and stuff. And
that was so cool.
That was really cool.
When he drops down from the
ceiling,
dual wheel pistols, just mows down the SWAT. And also, Ethan and I kept talking. Is that actually like what SWAT teams look like in the 90s? Because they would look so cool.
I know, they looked
all of them
really
had
cool.
like balaclavas on and had galils and like these really like militia like type weapons.
Yeah, it was sick.
They looked dope.
That was sick.
And then you can't count out the Silence of the Lambs type escape plan there.
That was sweet.
The change into clothes of the cop, and then
and the gas mask. And also, that's another character I want to talk about is the villain. The villain was good. Yeah. I don't remember who.
Oh yeah, Gary Oldman. That's what I was about to talk about. Gary Oldman was insane in that movie.
Yeah. Dude, it was so creepy every time he took the pill and went back and just
he gave me very much Heath Ledger Joker vibes. Yeah. Just that really twisted, twitchy drug addict kind of fanatic. Yeah. I don't even know. I don't know what his mannerisms would be called, but he was so good.
Yeah, his character was very, very entertaining every time he was on the screen. I also love the henchman, the one with the whatever that hair the drug guy, the stoner guy henchman. Oh yeah, that was in the bathroom when he confronts Matilda. Okay, chill,
bro.
I thought he just because they're at the I don't know what was it, the DEA headquarters or whatever. And he's just the one guy sitting there, looks like a full stoner, just sitting in the DEA, I don't know.
It's okay.
One of my favorite shots in the movie was at the very end after Léon escapes in the SWAT team uniform, and Gary Oldman, Norman was his name. He knew what was happening, and he waited behind right where Léon walks out. And it's this tracking shot, just right in Leon's face as he walks out, and he's going to the light of the door, the open world. And then as he's walking by, you can barely see a little bit of the background. And in the back left corner, you just see Norman just sitting in his pose on the wall, just standing there like he was when Natalie Portman walks into the bathroom earlier. It was just a really cool shot just because it was so subtle Like, they didn't even try to reveal anything crazy. It was just...
Yeah. I also thought it was really cool, like, when he actually, gets shot, how it's, like, POV, and it's going out, and then you just see the flash.
Yeah.
Like, you just see the flash, and then he falls. And I thought that was really cool, because they could have easily, done something else where he walks up behind him, or, you don't see him, and he's walking out, and then all of a sudden he gets shot from behind, you don't see anything happen.
Mm-hmm. This whole movie, dude, it was just shot really well.
Yeah,
it was.
I think of the movies we've watched so far, this is probably the best shot one in my opinion. Like, they used a lot of. It was weird because it seemed like they used either super wide lenses or extreme telephoto, super zoom lenses, when they were walking on the street, those shots. And I thought that was kind of a cool choice.
It had really cool transitions too from scene to scene. Like, there was a lot of. I don't know. The editing was real nice. The pacing of it too, it was just real quick. Like, you would blink and it'd be on to the next scene, and you wouldn't even have noticed. Like, there's no words that were said or anything that would indicate the ending of a scene. It would just be there. I don't know. It was cool. It was just the editing job was cool.
Yeah. It was just I really loved it, honestly. It was.
And then the end with the plant, that was a nice little touch.
The little plant. Léon the plant. Yeah, that plant was the main character, the best character in the movie.
That was the milk. The milk was the best character in the movie.
Yeah, I did like the recurring spit out the milk joke.
Yeah.
And also, what was the point of him drinking milk as his only drink? Oh, it was because he gets big and strong.
Yeah.
Strong bones.
I think he was trying to make her, drink it so she gets stronger. I don't know.
But the thing is, he already drank. Remember, in the first scene with Tony.
Yeah.
My favorite character in the movie. No one knocks off Tony. But Tony was hit with Léon in the beginning, and he's drinking milk still. Yeah. I guess he just likes milk.
He just really likes milk.
Big milk guy. Which I don't blame him. Milk is a good drink. It's one of my favorite drinks. It tastes good.
Milk is very nice. Milk is very nice.
And also, one of the shots I wanted to talk about, my favorite shot in the movie, it was a split-second one. It was on a super, almost a fisheye lens, but it's during the house raid when Matilda's family dies. Mm-hmm. And it's when her, stepmom gets shot in the bathtub.
Yes,
that top-down
That was sick.
And oh my,
and just the water
full white.
Yeah, I remember Tyler and I were just whoa, hey, relax.
No, those guys were brutal.
Yeah, we were just oh shit.
They just killed everyone. And then
killing the 4-year-old kid at the very beginning. That was a bold move.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks that they have to hide it, I kind of wanted to see him get shot,
Yeah.
But no, that's also a lot of the violence in this movie was kind of not shown after that first scene.
Yeah.
That's something I kind of noticed.
They were probably all right, we already have pedophiles in this movie. We can't make it that much.
It was the
worse.
first scene, that first scene with them, and then it was the last scene, and that was pretty much the main action that was happening.
Yeah. Because other than that, even in the beginning of the last scene, the first people he kills, he closes the door.
Yeah. And
you just see his hands, and then you just hear shooting, and you see bullets come through, and that's it. And I think not showing that I thought it was kind of cool.
Cooler, yeah.
Just keep going.
Yeah, but the actually I don't know, because there was also the scene with the meeting with the Chinese guys and wherever that was with the cop, and he kind of just guns all those guys down. But then when he actually kills the cop, he doesn't.
The people that matter.
Doesn't show that, yeah.
And also, the blood effects were really cool in this movie. It reminded me of Django Unchained.
Yeah.
Kind of because Tarantino was inspired by the old movies that use the gibs and or the jibs that are just super over the top and not realistic at all. But it's just style.
That I think my favorite death in that movie was the bathtub one.
Yeah.
Just because it literally just sprays out.
Mm-hmm. And it comes, and then the shot of the behind the tub, and there's the whole hole. Yeah, that was sweet. It was just shot so well, and the action was cool. It definitely wasn't I don't think there are definitely movies that have better actual choreographed action sequences.
Yeah.
But these almost in a way felt kind of more grounded in reality, but they weren't. Because he's swinging upside down from a bar and shooting people with dual wield pistols upside down, which is just stupid.
Yeah,
in general, but
it's ridiculous.
They didn't need to show any of that because I don't know.
But it makes sense because you get the buildup of him sitting there just doing sit-ups for hours, you would assume.
Right.
So it's just like, oh,
He's able
it
to
makes
do that.
sense now.
Yeah.
Like, he was doing those for a reason.
Just a freak.
Yeah.
And he's drinking his milk.
Yeah. The milk
Big
is
and
what
strong.
got him up there.
That's why he's strong.
But I looked up the cinematographer of the movie was Thierry Arbogast.
What else has he done?
Let us look. He's done Lucy.
Oh, so he just works with Besson, I think.
The Fifth Element, Valerian, Catwoman,
Ooh, great.
Anna, which just looks like a French movie. Luke. Yeah, he just works with Luke.
Yeah. One of the other
Everything
shots
is
that I
interesting.
thought that was like, it was like really cool, but also I thought it was just hilarious. Was after he pulls his big escape and like acts like the wounded cop, and they like walk him out, and they walk down the stairs, and it just keeps going forever, and they just keep like that shot kind of just keeps going on, and it's just more and more of them every single time.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just a
that's
line
so
of
good.
cops up the stairs.
That
like
was so
spiral
funny.
staircase.
And they had the cool top-down shot of the,
Yeah.
the spiral staircases.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
there
see
were
all of them.
a lot of staircase shots in this.
Yeah.
And I thought that, like, there's just so many.
It's just so
Cool
ridiculous
things.
that they have literally like every cop in the city in that apartment to try and just to get him.
Yeah, get everyone. That's
Yeah.
Isn't that what the main villain
Yeah.
guy says? They got everyone.
And you're kind of like, oh, get everyone. Okay, like that's, they'll be like outside or something, but no, they're literally every single one of them is inside the apartment or the hotel.
It was kind of hyped though that he was like, I want everyone.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to meet this guy. It makes you wonder like, why did this Léon guy just fuck him up so bad? Like,
Yeah.
was it just because he killed his main?
Yeah, he killed like
Sideman?
his friend, main guy.
Yeah, and then his two other comrades when he was saving. Matilda? Jesus.
Yeah.
Matilda. The last line from Léon was pretty badass though. This is for Matilda. And then he
Yeah.
opens all the grenades.
Yeah, he gives him the pin.
Yeah.
That was
And
sick.
He's like, oh shit.
And the whole building blows up.
Yeah.
Basically. And I just love how kind of like just unrealistic and unreasonable some of like the premises of this like movie are. Like some of the stuff just like couldn't happen. Like
Yeah.
the part where Matilda just shoots the gun out the window, and I
Yeah.
mean, I guess don't they like move after that scene and they go to the hotel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, like, she just shot a gun, like a
It's-
full, like, magazine out of a
yeah.
window.
A bunch of cars too, because
Yeah.
you hear the crashing and the honking.
And just all the cops. The fact that Léon walks in, just punches one of the guards, and walks past the other one on the phone.
Yeah. No, the one on the phone, he pulls over the table.
Oh
right?
yeah.
But still, it's like, it's so dumb, but it just works. And it was just kind of like kind of cheesy at times, the movie was, like, the dialogue, but it worked. It was just like, it made sense.
One of my favorite parts was when she first joined Léon in his kitchen. He goes and gets the pig, like
Yeah.
the pig
Yeah.
glove. He goes, I died. He walks around the corner and like in the most awkward
Piggy,
little
piggy.
run.
Piggy.
Yeah.
It's like what?
He's all crouched over, and his arms are like this. He's like, piggy. Where are you?
He's a French guy. Weird dude.
He
Yeah.
goes from piggy to I'm in love with this girl.
Very strange.
Yeah.
It was
It
just,
was
yeah.
a good movie, though.
I'm definitely going to go back at some point and watch the extended cut of it just to see what's up with that. Because although, like, I was doing research, like, watching videos about the movie, and a lot of them were using shots from the extended cut, and I'm just like, I haven't
What is
seen this.
happening?
I don't know where this is from in the movie. Like, did I watch the same movie as them? And it
Maybe
just turns
that's
out
where
there's
the
a lot
different
cut.
names come from. That's every single different cut that there is.
Dang. Like, 'cause,
That one's
okay.
Léon. The next one is
So that one was a
professional.
professional that was on the screen for us.
You're right.
Showed up. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Joe, did we watch the same movie?
I think we did. I hope so.
The one on Amazon Prime that was supposed to have ads but didn't have ads.
Oh, did it not?
Yeah.
Did yours have ads?
No, because I decided to watch it in 4K, so I rented it.
Oh, big 4K guy.
Yeah.
Big man.
I don't ever get to watch 4K movies on
Did it
this
really
TV.
make it that much better?
It looked really good. With this movie, I'm glad I did it because I didn't know it was going to be that well shot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it looked really cool, so I was happy with that decision.
Did you watch it last night?
Yeah. It was so good.
Yeah.
So
actually, one
great
of the scenes I liked a lot was the sniper scene.
That scene was cool.
When he's,
what was first of all? Who was that guy that she shot?
I don't know. I think it was just some important guy that was.
He was probably like relatively famous back in the 90s, and we wouldn't know who he is.
Either that or it was an actor, and it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think it was just supposed to be like, this guy is important. He's got security, and then like she shoots him, and then
that was funny. They all tackled him.
Yeah, they're like, there's like sniper or something. Like they're all like around him with guns, and Léon just kind of looks. He's like, okay, let's go.
No, that was great.
Yeah.
And also, I just love the the snipers for amateurs thing,
Mm-hmm.
and like how he talks about getting closer.
Yeah.
He's a cleaner.
Yeah.
He's got to keep the job clean, you know.
Exactly.
That's yeah.
Léon, shall we rate it?
I guess. Are we rating?
It?
You guys can go first. I'll go last.
Go ahead, Tyler.
I think I'm going to give this movie a 4 out of 5 because I really enjoy. I don't know. I just enjoyed watching it the whole time. Even the parts that I was uncomfortable, I was like, it's just so interestingly uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah. So yeah, 4 out of 5. It was really good.
Yep, you nailed it on the head. It's a 4 out of 5 for sure. I think that's the second highest rating I've given.
You gave Whiplash a 5, right? You weren't here for that last week.
No, I wasn't. I would give Whiplash like a 4.5 out of 5.
Oh wow, I got it. I said you gave it a 5 on
Yeah.
podcast, so I got to.
Well, no movie can be a 5 out of 5. Parasite is like
no movie can be okay. We're gonna.
I don't think
after we do our ratings, we're gonna have to talk about that.
No movie.
Just okay. You get what you said.
4 out of 5.
All right, I give this one a nice 9 out of 10.
Wow.
I really if it didn't have all the pedophilia stuff and the weirdness, this would probably be a 5 out of 5. It would be a 5 out of 5. And honestly, I'm kind of scared that if I watch the extended cut, it'll make it go down because I'll just be even more weirded out. But I thought the action was so cool in this movie. It was one of my favorite looking movies I've seen recently.
Cinematography was fantastic by Thierry.
Only thing we didn't mention. At some points, the music felt a little bit off.
Yeah,
I agree.
In the beginning,
yes.
Towards the end, it was fine. But in the beginning, there were like 1 or 2 moments where I was kind of like, okay, this music choice is kind of weird. But I feel like they reeled it in at the end, middle to end.
They just tried to keep it a little bit eerie the whole time.
Mm-hmm. When they go into the hotel.
Yeah, they didn't need to be that way.
Yeah, Ethan and I commented on that when we were watching it. And also, honorary score. Ethan told me he would give it a 4. Same as you guys. 4 out of 5.
Very agreeable movie.
It's a very high... We've watched some high-rated movies on this podcast. Mm-hmm. The only one... The lowest-rated one's In the Mouth of Madness, for sure. And then Ichi. Also, okay, Ichi the Killer was a very similar movie in a good amount of ways to this movie.
It really was. I think it was just... That one is just even more over the top.
Yeah, that one was
so
stretched.
Yeah, that is just...
I loved Ichi the Killer too, but not as... Léon I just liked a lot more.
Yeah. It was just a way more well-done movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, no movie can be a 10 out of 10.
See, a 10...
That means that is the peak of cinematic history. Like, nothing will be better than that. And I guess we're talking about our own opinions.
Because multiple movies can be a 5 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about what you like. It's not about how well made
it's how much that lives up to the standard of what you want in a movie. That's what you rate it.
Because my like top 5 movies, none of them are perfect movies.
No.
None of them are close to perfect movies.
I've never watched a perfect movie. I just don't know if
Parasite. I thought Parasite was the closest to the most perfect movie I've ever watched.
Yeah, I guess that is, but even then, I'd just give it a 4.9 because I don't think it's. I don't think you can have a 10. 4.95. Give it a 9.9 out of 10.
Just give it a 10, Jackson.
No.
Just give it a 10.
See, how would you not rate I know your favorite movie is Super 8, right?
Well, that's just my favorite. It's just not.
Yeah, but your favorite.
I'm not saying it's the best.
I feel like there's a point where it doesn't have to be the best to be a 5 out of 5. It doesn't have to be a perfect movie.
You're right. You have to determine are you rating it based on the quality and how good it was, or based on how much you like it?
Because I think that the quality of it influences how much you like it.
Yeah.
but also it's how much like you enjoy the story, the characters, how much
entertaining
do you relate to it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to like. I don't relate to any of my favorite movies actually. I just like them for technical aspects and good storytelling.
Yeah.
And they look cool.
I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be able to give it 10 out of 10 or a 5.
Actually, I think that the most important thing for me, at least, with a movie is the style.
Yeah.
Like that's why I think something like Scott Pilgrim is my favorite movie, because that is one of the most like unique movies. And then Léon also, it obviously has a style and it sticks to that style and it's pretty unique. I don't like Ichi the Killer is really probably the closest movie I've seen to Léon, but that movie is just. That movie had style. That movie was whack. But
that was just something totally different.
Yeah, that's like because all my 4 favorite movies: Scott Pilgrim, Hot Fuzz, Come and See, and Enter the Void.
I think the problem with Ichi the Killer compared to this movie is that there's weird elements of both movies. But Ichi the Killer takes those weird elements and makes those a center point of the
especially towards the end.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, this one it's kind of just a subtle thing throughout that you're like, are they in love? Is this not right? Should I be watching this?
Ichi the Killer would have been like they would have fucked at the end.
Yeah.
Don't say that. Yeah, I mean, but Ichi the Killer is also Japanese. And it was based off of manga.
So it's okay.
It was based off of manga, though. So that also describes why it was... Or manga, sorry. So that's why... It's based off of mango. And so that's why it kind of was more over the top and not grounded in reality. Kind of the opposite. Yeah. Exact opposite of what... Not exact. Because Léon had ridiculous moments, too. But
I don't know. I thought throughout Ichi the Killer I was watching a live-action hentai. So...
Ooh, okay, I take back what I said earlier. You can have a 5 out of 5 movie, and that one 5 out of 5 movie is How to Train Your Dragon. And that is it.
Minions?
That is the peak of cinematic history.
At some point in this podcast, we're watching Minions.
No.
We need to...
Actually, we should.
You're going to be surprised because here's my...
The thing is with this podcast, we need to eventually start to do more movies that aren't widely accepted masterpieces. Yeah. Like Whiplash, I was like, okay, this is just going to be a movie where we say it was really good. These are the things that are really good about it.
But I was glad we watched that.
I wanted to watch that movie, but it's just I don't want to get into a hole where we are only doing super best picture. I mean, 127 hours. I forgot we watched that. That movie.
That was an acid trip.
That movie was interesting. Yeah. I'm telling you. You guys need to watch, or I want to watch another Gaspar Noé movie, because those ones are definitely love it or hate it movies.
Yeah.
And I feel like almost all of us would hate them besides me. But maybe not. I don't know. You guys might like Into the Void. It's a absolute trip of a movie.
Cool. I probably would.
I might do that as my next one, but no spoilers.
No spoilers.
So are we suggesting 2 movies for
yeah. We still got a good amount of time left on the pod.
Yeah.
But we can request
we don't have
movies.
to go a full hour, do we?
I mean, but I would like to get close.
Yeah.
We got a good amount of time.
Well, we can suggest the movies for
and then we can talk about some other stuff. But
I'm ready for my suggestion.
So yours will be the first one, because you were supposed to be next.
All right.
We can talk about the movies, I guess, that you suggest afterwards.
Yeah. So I was just kind of looking at different movies, and I decided that we are going to be watching the 2010 film
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
No.
I know it. I think I know what you're going to say.
Shutter Island.
Ooh, that's a good one. I have not seen that one.
I have not seen it, and I forgot that Leonardo DiCaprio was in it. Mm-hmm. So I was very interested, and I wanted to watch it.
This has been on my watch list since I got this app. That was over a year ago.
Hey, look. Yeah. Jackson Hadley watch list.
Look at that. Look at me.
Yeah. So that is my suggestion. I am excited to see it.
A little Scorsese action on the podcast for the first time.
Yeah,
that'll be hype.
I haven't seen too many Scorsese movies, so.
Yeah, I am excited to watch.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble finding the one that... Oh, okay, I found it. All right, so my suggestion... this is definitely not going to be a world-renowned movie, like a great movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But it has a crazy cast, and it looks like a fun story. I think this will be a fun movie, but it's Bad Times at the El Royale.
This is on my watch list.
Yes. Okay, so I don't know. I saw the trailers for this like 2-3 years ago. Is it 2018? And I always wanted to see that. It looks wild. I'm not really sure what the plot is.
It wasn't on my watch list.
But it's Chris Hemsworth. It's hold on, Jeff Bridges, John Hamm. Who else are well?
Some other people.
Some other people. It looks like a solid cast and a fun story.
So we'll see.
We will see.
And the thumbnail has big bright colors and it's red and blue and neon. I like it.
He likes it a lot.
Huh.
So I think it'll be a fun movie.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a movie that will have opinions.
Yeah.
Yes.
It won't just be
It won't just be, oh, that's a good movie. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it has solid ratings, at least on Letterboxd.
I don't think it's going to be an offensively bad movie, Jackson.
No, definitely.
I think it'll hold up.
Yeah.
This will be interesting though, having two podcasts
movies.
on one movie.
That's crazy.
Wild.
2 hours on one movie, we can do it.
It could happen. If I took notes while watching it and watched it twice, it could happen maybe.
Let's take notes.
I actually might need to now because we're doing two movies and it's only every other week, so I will forget a lot, I think.
Yeah.
I'll need something to jog my memory because I already forgot like a lot of like the scenes from Léon.
Yeah,
a lot of like the minor ones.
Yeah. That's why you got to watch one of them right before the podcast.
Mm. Or you just take notes.
Yeah, just take like small little jibber jabbers.
Take some little jibber jabbers down the
little jibber jabbers. I don't even know. I just say words sometimes.
We should all just sit here and watch the movie with like notepads and like pencils and
Pause. Can we talk about this for a moment?
Can we please discuss?
Hold up. What did you just say? Somebody tell me. I need to write that down.
I mean, should we talk about something?
Let's talk about something.
Oh, I mean, is there anything that's been on your guys' mind, movie related? Excited about this new format?
There was a new movie that came out. It's the one that was filmed like entirely in reverse. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember what it's called, but I heard about that.
I think I put it on my watch list. It's
I do not know.
No.
It's this little movie called Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Have you heard
filmed
of it?
entirely in reverse.
Reverse.
Tenet.
Oh yeah, the Christopher Nolan movie.
Yes, and that looks crazy. Fun fact about that movie: they actually crashed a whole plane into a building for a shot.
Wow.
A real plane.
A real airplane.
A real airplane.
Was it a real building too?
It was a real building, and a real airplane, and a real crash from a real airplane into a real building. Did they really
film it?
They really filmed it.
Did they really?
Did they film it?
Wait, what?
Is Ethan not on the podcast?
I hope that he watches this.
Is anybody even listening to us right now?
There's definitely some people.
Yeah.
There's some people.
Some brain dead people.
Should we try it again where if you're listening now, comment the word I am listening right now.
That is
multiple words.
If
I
you're
am listening right
listening, comment
Jackson is the best simp.
Comment Ethan is gone.
Is Ethan? No, comment is Ethan
gone?
Is Ethan gone?
Yeah, that's it. Is
is
Ethan gone?
Yeah.
Yes.
And we need to see the influctuations in his voice in your letters.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Is Ethan gone?
You just have to.
You can do that. You can definitely do that. Is Ethan gone?
Gone.
How do you do that? It gets. Never mind. Capitalize.
You could do it. That's light
just
work,
capitalize.
Dude. That is absolute light work.
Yeah.
We all miss Ethan. He's gone.
Yeah.
We also miss Squints. Squints is also gone.
Is he asleep in there?
No,
Squints has not been at this apartment in almost a week now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Damn. Squints, we miss you. Come back.
Come back for podcast.
Yes.
Next week, the movie suggestions would be Ethan and Squints, yeah.
Yeah.
Ethan and Squints, or not next week. 2 weeks. It'll be Ethan and Squints.
Yes.
But who knows when we'll record the next one? Maybe it'll be in 3 months. Maybe we'll never upload a podcast again. Maybe we're retired.
No,
I have so much G Fuel energy right now.
This will switch it up a lot, actually, because since me and Jackson since we have an odd number of people, me and Jackson are suggesting, and then it'll be Squints and Ethan, and then it'll be you and me next.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's going to be every person you know what you're getting for the next 2 weeks. Like, you know what movie it's going to be, because it'll be a mix of 2 different types of movies.
That is very true.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
his wild out there movie that he usually
Okay,
does.
Léon apparently is not even close to it.
Oh, no,
out there
not Léon. No.
Yeah.
You've done Ichi the Killer.
Ichi the
right?
Killer
Yeah.
was the only one, and that very much was a...
Joe just looks up
Joe likes-
highly stylized movies.
Highly stylized.
Okay,
and
yeah,
weird.
those are, like, here, look at my watch list right now, and just tell me if this... Oh, I'm already on it. How stylized does this look? What do you see?
Dawn of the Dead, A Cure for Wellness. What is this one? Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that one looks sick.
That one looks very stylized. I just see a lot of bright colors and very,
Bright
very
color.
interpretive.
Joe's just like scrolling through Letterboxd and he's like, "Oh, bright color."
Oh, yeah, that was from my Russian film class.
Man
Ignore
with a movie
that.
camera. Okja.
That's a Bong Joon-ho movie.
Ooh.
Yeah. Apparently it's not. It's I think. I don't know what his second best movie is.
I was gonna suggest A Serious Man
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
That's another.
That one
I
looks
need
really
to watch
good.
that.
Have you?
I feel like we all have different like choices in like.
I think we all
movie
have different
preference.
choices.
In movie preference, so it will. I don't know. I feel like it will be a lot of like different things, especially talking about it in like the same podcast.
We need to watch Gummo at some point.
Suggest it.
And look at the spaghetti bathtub scene.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell?
That's a sick movie.
Eric Andre.
Oh yeah, that's
They
it.
have a movie.
It's his.
Oh, wait, it's
apparently,
only 52
it's not
minutes.
very good. I don't even know if I'm probably never gonna watch it.
It has 3.2 stars.
Because Eric Andre's the issue. Oh yeah, that looks sick.
Fantastic Planet. It's a French stylized movie.
It's a French animated movie. It's very interesting.
Cool,
Actually,
cool.
We haven't had an animated movie since week 1. That is crazy.
movie.
Watch that.
Yeah.
I know. I've basically watched it at this point. I know the whole plot of
We
Full
need-
Metal Jacket. I just have never seen it start to finish.
We're gonna need to maybe watch another animated movie here soon.
Yeah, we should. We need to.
Can I request it? Can I find a really weird one?
Minions.
Yes.
Minions.
Do you want to watch Minions? Okay, I have a question for you guys. I think I know Jackson's answer, but who are your guys' favorite directors? Kind of just like jumping off topic from what we were talking, but gives us something else to talk about. Mine is Travis Scott.
Same.
He's a very good director.
Yeah, I like the one
I
Travis
think-
Scott burger.
Favorite director. As much as this sounds so basic,
Steven Spielberg.
yes. no, I think it's probably Tarantino, just because every movie is just like, you're not bored watching those movies, and it's just the most, just ridiculous stuff that happens in them that it just, I don't know.
He's one of the best writers for sure. He's one of the best at writing dialogue out there, and also his movies, they all have managed to like have their own vibe to them.
Yeah,
I hate
and it's
that's not the
like,
best word
he's
to
not
describe
like
it, but-
stuck to one thing. Like obviously the over the top like gore and
Yeah.
stuff, that's Tarantino, but like all like his movies are, there's not one of them is like, oh, this feels the same as this movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Only thing I would say is like he does stick to like some similar themes,
Yeah.
and
I
also
think the
like
other
his
one-
settings. Like he has like Hateful Eight and Django,
Yeah.
and then I can't think of other ones
I think my
that are similar.
other possibly favorite, Joe, you're gonna be very happy, is Edgar Wright. Just because I don't know, just he just always makes something good. Just
His movie,
every
he doesn't miss.
he doesn't miss.
All I'm saying is that I think that Ant-Man would be the best superhero movie ever made if Edgar Wright if he directed it.
It probably would have been. That would have been sick.
Marvel kicked him off because he was too creative. That's literally what happened, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then it was just a fine movie, but it was just a superhero movie.
Joe, I think you need to watch some of the older Marvel movies before it was like...
I mean, I've seen Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
Which I know is supposed to be like one of the best.
Yeah.
And I thought it was good. I can enjoy superhero movies, but I'm never gonna want to watch a superhero movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the overall like Marvel thing is kind of a little. It's way too corporate and like.
They have a formula.
Yeah.
And the formula works because they make bank on every movie.
Oh yeah.
But the movies end up being a little bland.
They've definitely gotten more and more bland as it's gone on, but. Mm-hmm. Like some of the first like Marvel movies that were coming out, those are all really good, and
yeah, that's how they were able to build this.
Yeah,
what they have now
exactly
is because the movies were actually good, weren't bum movies.
But I did like Infinity War and Endgame, just because it's like just the way it just connects every movie in the Marvel universe. It's just like.
The story's just so complex, and to do that, to connect all of them, is really, really impressive.
Yeah. I will say there is a formula for each superhero movie individually.
Yeah.
But the fact that they were able to do, like, bring all those stories with, like, there's certain elements in each story that is, like, you might think is the smallest detail, but it all matters in the end. I don't know. I just think that is... I don't know. You gotta respect it. With how many movies they've made, they're still able to make sure all of them work together.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. It's just that I would rather have, when it comes to movies, I would rather have like... I would rather have like original things being greenlit and like happening. Mm-hmm. Like for... the only thing I think of right now is like Edgar Wright making Shaun of the Dead. Mm-hmm. Like apparently it was just like super hard for him to get the funding to make that and just to make it happen. And it's just like stuff like that. It's just so hard for people to get fundings to make because everyone's in on the surefire like this will make money 100% instead of making a good movie. It's all about making. I mean, obviously it's all about making money because it's a business. Mm. But there's also like it's a creative. What's the word? It's creative medium. That's the word.
Yeah.
Got it. So like experimentation and stuff should be encouraged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is true.
And that's why I like stuff like Edgar Wright and Gaspar Noé because they just go crazy. They go stupid. And
go crazy. Go stupid.
Go stupid. And they both have their own style. And it makes unique movies. Unique experiences for the viewer.
That is true.
Like you guys, I think the next movie I do will be a Gaspar Noé movie because I want to make you guys even probably more uncomfortable than Léon. So
sweet,
get ready. Sweet. I'll probably do Enter the Void. Little spoiler for the future, but it's probably I'll do Climax.
So we got 4 weeks until that gets spoiled. That actually.
Yeah, everyone's gonna forget by then.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll have 10 million subscribers by the time the next podcast or my next movie recommendation goes live. Maybe everyone's gonna subscribe. Maybe one of our real life videos, maybe the sports video goes huge.
It'll go big.
It goes dummy
big, dog.
It'll go dummy big.
With my $30 Final Cut Pro Sports Graphics package.
Also, that's another thing now that we have this new format. We can possibly do more mini-series type stuff and more shows. I mean, shows maybe not because that's kind of tough to do.
Yeah. But just a series of videos that all are connect, like have the same.
Like a Chernobyl type beat.
Yeah.
I've never watched that. I want to watch that. But we can do more stuff like that because we have more time to watch. But I'm probably just gonna keep doing movies because that's just what I want to watch, I guess, because I have not seen enough movies.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you with that.
You've seen a lot more than me, though.
I have, but still not enough. Not enough.
Not enough.
Yes.
Maybe you'll get on my level of knowledge at some point.
Or not.
Jokes, lah.
That was a great impression. I was just trying to lock in how you did that impression so I can recreate it for the
when
future.
he faces Squints in the finals. The accent.
My level of expertise.
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 Do your French accent again.
No,
Wait, isn't that like an Italian
that's
thing?
the Ratatouille song.
Oh, never mind.
No. I don't know how to do it.
French people just sit there.
No, I think
going,
we need to give Squints and Jackson like a couple weeks to lock on and like try and actually learn how to do accents.
No, that would be a fun video idea.
No,
then
wait,
they
that could be a Simps TikTok thing. Accent
Okay.
challenge. Winner doesn't die.
No, the Simps TikTok is dead.
No, it's not.
It's dead before it
dead.
even started.
We could get a bajillion views on that.
Bajillion trillion.
And it could bring viewers to this YouTube channel, Jackson. Don't lose hope yet.
It could. We need more content before we bring
We
more
need more
viewers.
Simps Twitter action.
Yeah, I tried one tweet that was like a joke tweet where I said, I think listen to the podcast on Spotify or the boy dies or something, and it was just Jackson's child picture of him.
Oh
sitting
yeah, I
there.
remember that one.
And no one retweeted it or watched the podcast, so it didn't do much. Not much happened.
Sick.
Yeah, the Twitter experiment, it gets us a few more views, but
Yeah. I feel like once we put out more videos, the funnier videos might actually get watched.
they might get 20, 30 views. I'll manipulate the YouTube algorithm.
Okay.
To
Just
get
like
us views.
Let's
knock
just-
on YouTube's door and be like, hey, can you give us like 1 million views real quick?
That's how That's how you upload videos to YouTube.
Yeah,
is
you
you
have to
throw
go to
them
YouTube.
you mail them your hard drive and
Yeah.
say upload
Oh.
this. And,
See, we've been doing it wrong all along.
and then they give us views. Or we could just ask Neighbors Perfect. See how they get views. See how they buy views.
They don't.
Get views naturally.
Yeah, definitely
Sorry.
not
Are
fake.
is that actually still a channel?
Yes.
They
yes.
still consistently upload.
He uploaded a
Consistently.
trying the Travis Scott meal video like a couple weeks ago.
Consistently is depending on how you look at it.
Wait, can we make a trying the Travis Scott meal video?
Yeah, I'll eat it. I'll be the
We were just
try
like,
the
a
food
couple
guy.
weeks late, but let's do it.
We are a
Couple weeks late to the trend.
It's still funny.
We're always late.
Trying the Fortnite burger at McDonald's. Hey,
Fortnite burger.
can I get a Fortnite burger? The look on his face will be priceless.
It'll be
Straight
pricey.
up.
Well, the Travis Scott burger is the Fortnite burger.
Travis Scott X Fortnite burger. McDonald's X Travis Scott X Fortnite. The collab of the century right there.
No way, man. I gotta stop picking at my arm.
Yeah, you do.
That's gross.
On the podcast in front of everyone.
Caught on
Millions
camera.
of people are gonna see you do that.
Yeah.
You idiot. But yeah, I mean, I guess this is a good point to leave her off. So,
Leave her off, bro.
Yeah, big announcement, obviously. Every 2 weeks now, not every week. And then
Now you can have a week off from our annoying voices.
that's true.
But thanks for tuning in to a whole 25 podcasts in
That's it. Wow.
a
You made it
quarter of
25.
100 podcasts. We are now transitioning into real Simps activity.
Real question is, what are we doing for the 100th podcast in like 2.5 years when we hit that?
Jumping off a building
Cool.
with no parachute and landing on our feet.
Like ninja.
Just land on a big bed.
Russian roulette. Let's do it.
Oh.
Russian roulette on the podcast.
With
Let's have-
Or we
airsoft
can-
guns that are
guns.
actually real good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. Well, next week movies are Shutter Island and Bad Times at El Royale.
Yeah.
So watch those if you don't want to be left out of the loop, because now this is a pretty much movie-only podcast. Movies. I'm not even gonna have to use that theme song anymore because
Yeah.
there's no transition point.
Yes, sir. Well, no, just kind of. You could just start the podcast with it.
You could.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Eventually, maybe.
We'll see.
If I make a better one, I might do that. But for now, it's a movie podcast.
Anyway, thanks everybody for listening to our 25th podcast. We'll catch you next week. Not next week. The week after that. 2 weeks from now.
We're gonna have to get used to saying that, but anyways,
Sayonara.
yeah. Sayonara. Thank you guys.
Peace.